tell me that thing? Oh goodness. Mercury retrograde. Anyone? All right, here we are. Thank you. Okay, finally, and yeah, I'm sure there's some folks that were like, okay, where is everybody? Because I don't see anyone joining yet, but just give it a few minutes. So, yeah.
Today on Mercury retrograde, nothing will go as planned.
Dude, that's been the story of my day.
Well, that's why I said it the way I said.
Yeah.
On top of Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
Gentlemen, huh?
Look, yeah. Well.
Did you know it was 13th?
Yeah. No, believe me, I knew it was Friday the 13th. I used to be the kind of person that laughed and funny. It's Friday the 13th. Everybody else being superstitious. Well, the last Friday the 13th was not a good one for me, because that was that was when my best friend from high school died. So, they're not fun anymore. But
I went the whole day without finding out until this guy told me.
Well, leave it.
Dang it, I'm okay with that.
Leave it to your monitor to screw up the simple joys in life.
It's almost like Whamageddon, I guess, for Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this shows my age. Okay, some friends of mine had decided back when the O.J. Simpson trial was going on, and we knew when they were the jury was deliberating. We knew the day that they were going to render a verdict, and so my friends in college and I decided, okay, let's see how long we can go without hearing the news. Because we knew it was going to be all over the place. I unfortunately lost early in the day because I happened to be getting out of an art class and heading for lunch right around the time that the crowds were dispersing after having watched it in the student center. So I got eliminated very early on in that competition. Yeah, apparently my roommate was kind of holed up with her boyfriend over in his dorm room, and they were, that's another story. But they managed to go until the evening, and then somebody came into the room. Hey, did you guys? And they're like, so yeah, it's almost like Whamageddon, but yeah. But yeah, the two words I would use to describe my day have been Mercury retrograde.
The two words that are going to describe my day is Scotch and refill.
Oh, let's see. Yeah. Okay, and somebody says this week Rick Springfield's working class DJ theme was high school dropouts. It's artists who did not graduate from high school or got kicked out of high school. So you have Billy Joel, Elton John, Guns N' Roses, Ringo. Let's see, In My Car by Ringo Starr, Phil Collins, Aerosmith. And George Harrison. You got my mind set on you.
None of them. None of the guys in the police graduated from high school. That can't be right because
no. Sting is educated.
Sting was a teacher.
Yeah. He was an English teacher.
So was Gene Simmons from Kiss. He was a history teacher.
Well, apparently when Sting wrote "Don't Stand So Close to Me," there was like an element of.
I'm sure there was.
But yeah. So yeah. But there you go. Yeah, you're a little bit of a.
See.
Okay. 911 Why Naibu. I'm trying to figure out what your username is because Why Naibu. That is there like an anime reference in there? You'll have to tell me. But anyway, it was just kind of giving it a few minutes for people to catch up because we had kind of a late start. I meant to set this up like 8:45, a little earlier than that. I was trying to set everything up, and then YouTube lost it for me. So, yeah. It's just
YouTube does that when it loves you.
It was giving me trouble with the chat, and so I went to try and mess with one setting, and then it brought me somewhere else. I hit back, and it brought me somewhere else. I'm like, yeah. I'm always jealous of how well you can do that because I wish I could. But yeah, just one of those things. Okay, and I guess public service announcement of sorts for those of you who are in the United States. Um, the postal service in your area might be doing a thing where like second Saturday in May they go and they they'll leave you a bag or something and you fill it with food for the local food bank and you just put it in your mailbox and they'll pick it up. And so
I don't think it's for the food bank at all. I think it's for the postal service. Those people are hungry. They need snacks.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not like it used to be. We got the expression going postal. The things have gotten better since then. But anyway, I have a couple of things in our bag. It's the second Saturday in May, so that's kind of understood to be with our offerings, so we can do some good for folks around here. There's rice and lentils in there.
That's right. And I encourage anybody to give to the food bank because you never know when you're going to be the sole using the food bank.
Yeah. Well, think about what happened during the early part of the pandemic.
Yeah, and over the last 3 years, people from all walks of life do, so don't ever think you won't be. Mm-hmm. Because you are most likely going to be at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Where we are, there are little apartment complexes and whatnot, and I'll sit near the management section or the laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
They'll usually have a give and take cabinet.
Huh.
We'll drive up to it and just fully stock it.
Oh, that's really sweet, and that's also a neat idea. And you know what? If there were. Certainly, if we had folks in our congregation that were like in the area, we would make sure that you were taken care of.
Yeah.
But
we feed you, y'all feed us. It's community, y'all, and we would.
Yeah. But we're just trying to do what we can for folks in the area, and a lot of folks have said, if you're going to give to a food bank, try to give things that are not just like mac and cheese. Everybody gets mac and cheese, but things like powdered milk, canned meats, or packs like a fish, or things like that, proteins, and that's why I got like the lentils and the rice. Those are things that, and also like I think somebody was also saying like marinara sauces and stuff like that.
Marinara barbecue sauce.
So
let me put it to you this way: if you like it, give it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the easy one.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that we're doing tonight. So, and that's for folks here in the United States. Folks in other countries, you'll have to tell us what kinds of things they do for charities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's good to know, I guess. But anyway, I just noticed that this Coke bottle that I use. It has a mark on the side that says excess calories. To let you know, this Coke has an excessive amount, when it was full, it's an excessive amount of calories.
Oh, see, I thought that was like after this point in the bottle, it's excess calories. I don't know, but
well, either way, I just think I think it's funny they have to point that out.
I mean, let's face it. If you're drinking a Coke, it's excess calories, and you don't give a shit anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
That's still beautiful.
Okay.
Yay, it's time for waterworks.
I don't know about you, but as hot as it's been lately, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think Darren's raised an eyebrow at you, Manu. So these cool waters are upon my hands. Oh, and they're nice and cool. They purify me as Tefnut purifies me. Hail unto you, Djehuty. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands. Come on, our purity is upon our within our hearts. I couldn't tell if you were hamming it up or what. We've cast out all.
Your body, I'll come see you.
We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure.
It must have been very, very unpleasant when you did the ice bucket challenge.
Actually, I didn't think so, but that's because we were outside in 90+ degree heat, and so,
Yamanu, my vengeance will be pointed and cold.
Look, if we're doing a Kemetic con and we're in a hotel or something, just don't get us into trouble. That's all I ask.
Dude is toast. He's gonna need a change of clothes. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now. Shannon, be prepared.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm going to have to sit down and write up, but before we even have, something like this decided, I'm going to write up the rules. Huh?
Some kind of a waiver.
Yeah. No ice or water fights in the thing.
This will have nothing to do with water or fights.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. And with the Mary Dress says, one day I'd love to cook a big soup for all of y'all. And
Cool.
yeah, and Sarcastic was saying can't stop is best if you give bread or anything else that's perishable. Yeah, and they tell you don't give perishable things, non-perishable goods are best. Because, if something sits for a while,
However, check with your local food bank because some of them can take stuff that is frozen. Especially at Christmas time and stuff because they don't get enough meats and things like. We gave them like 6 pounds of deer one year.
Yeah, well, that was something that locally they were doing, and it was basically encouraging hunters to give something for the poor. And I had like a whole bunch of like venison cutlets that my brothers had given me that they were never going to use, and at the time we weren't going to use either, so we brought those to them.
And they were like, they got given.
Oh yeah, yes,
happily given because everybody needs good protein, man. It's important.
Yeah.
And if you're a vegetarian and you get your protein differently, I wasn't meant to offend.
Yeah.
But I will say educate me because I like vegetables, period.
Yeah. But that's also why lentils are good too.
Yes.
But yeah. So and I was just kind of distracted a little bit by your plots of vengeance.
But they were made with love.
And I know they were. It's just I couldn't tell if you were hamming that up or what.
That stuff was cold, man.
It's just the contrast between the air and the...
I don't care. It was cold.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The Tin Woodsman should have been kind of worried in that scenario too. Water splaying around.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, programmed.
Yeah. Okay, and I just remembered I've got because it is summertime. I got the fan going, and so I was like, oh wow, I have to watch the candle. As a matter of fact, I may need to turn the fan down a little bit. Yes, if you can be my technical assistant.
I'll do it.
I I'd say you're our wob, but you're you know those waters are a little rough on you.
Well, they don't burn, so you know that's the good thing. You know, at least I'm not screaming it burns.
Okay. So yeah, just put it down to low.
All right.
And meanwhile, come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world. To everyone who's tuning in now, and who will be joining us later, this eye of Horus comes, and we are purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
And we have our candle for Shu, which we're going to light, and of course Sekhmet. There's several feasts that are going on, different local feasts that are going around this point in the calendar. One of them is of Shu bringing back Tefnut. And there's also an appearance of Djehuty and an appeasing of Sekhmet that was honored in Esna in the south. What's interesting about all of those is all of them played a role in the story of the distant goddess, which has local variations. You know, in some versions it's Tefnut, and others it's Sekhmet. But basically you have a goddess who acts as the Eye of Ra, and who often takes a lion form, and she gets angry and goes out into the desert. And either Shu brings her back, or in one version of the story, Djehuty does. And so he has to, even though he's a little afraid to go and confront an angry goddess, he manages to persuade her to come back home and be merry again. And so, you know, putting all of those together, it's like, hey, this is a, you know, a good theme to have going. So we'll go ahead and light Sekhmet's candle as well. Come on. So we welcome them. You arise in the Aketis Kepri, O Ra, shedding your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from Nun at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and to your son Shu, to Djehuty, and to Sekhmet. Hail and praise unto you, O Yunuchuru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out his spet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. And I noticed somebody in the comments earlier was asking where Kai Sobek is. I'd heard from him earlier. I know he's been away a little bit, but continues to ask us to, say prayers for his aunt and his grandmother. And he's been busy working with his new job a lot, apparently. But he seems to be doing well, and we wish him the best. And if he can join us, great. If not, if he catches us later, then hey, we love you, and we'll all be together at some point. So, and I finally caught up with Moon Knight, and I thought of it because I'm thinking of the four virtues of Ra, and of course Hika, which we also translate as magic, being one of them. And then in that one episode, they had the Heka priests, and I'm like, oh, that was a facepalm moment there.
Well, I had only one thing to say when I saw that.
What?
What the heck?
What the heck? Yeah. So. Take these, your cool waters, which are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. Oyunechuru, these waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, Oyunechuru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great purity. This incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you, it cleanses you, it adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. This incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, Oyunechuru. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. The gardens prosper, and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, Oyunechuru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine and your water. Pure is Ra Horeketi within his house. Pure is Shu within his house, Djehuty within his, Sekhmet within her house. Pure are the cause of all of these gods, with this good myrrh that is given. Djehuty proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for Ra Horeketi, for Shu, for Djehuty, for Sekhmet, in every place that their immortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horeketi. Come to your body, O Shu, O Djehuty, O Sekhmet. Come to your bodies, O Oyunechuru, and come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your Hika, your honor, and your Ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people, raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra, before Shu, before Djehuty, before Sekhmet. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. Ora Horketi, and your son, the Osir Nisu Nekeprura, your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. And from the gods to the blessed dead. And we have to include one of our own in our prayers tonight. Dominic Marinkovic, I believe is how his last name is pronounced. His grandmother passed away this week. She had a stroke. And he shared a picture of her. Her name was Maria. And a wonderful picture of him and his brother with his grandmother. But
is that the gentleman that was always asking to pray for his grandmother?
No, different one. He lives in Eastern Europe, and he happened to tune in one time. He was traveling to Budapest, I believe, at the time, so he was able to tune in. But yeah, she passed away, and they're it's very fresh, and they're in a state of grief right now, and so.
We will include his grandmother. Yeah,
because in the picture, she seemed like just this wonderful, vivacious sort of, little grandmother that you just want to scoop up. And there's a picture of, him and his brother, with her, and it's just completely adorable. So, so we have to keep them in our prayers. As we
May their memory be strong.
Mm-hmm. We'll light this candle, that it may be the eye of Horus that lights their way in Djehuty. And we bring them these cool waters from the table of Osiris, that their hearts may be refreshed. Orekaru ta henket kakao abdu senature mahat kutnebet nofret wabet alket naturim and kawan akupunibu makarunibu hirnatura. A voice offering of bread and beer, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which God lives, for the cause of all of these Aku, all true of voice before the great God. And now we come unto you, O Ra, as Djehuty comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your Ka shall live. Truly, your Aeneid has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Aeneid says unto you, your word is law eternally. The Svet is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. May we always act with gentility and compassion, for such is the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such is the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such is the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such as the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, for such as the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good, for such as the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such as the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such as the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Djehuty. We may witness Ra's perfection every day. Did the myrrh make you sleepy? I think it did. Because it's funny, I can hear your breathing just settle down, like even out. And I'm like, he went to sleep, didn't he? I think somebody cuddled you up. It was interesting when I was setting everything up. The thought that I had, I guess maybe this was, sort of a message that I was intended to get. Because Shu is, of course, the son of Ra, and he is, the kind of described as like, the sunlit sky and his air. He is the breath of life. And he goes to the desert to get Tefnut because, they're a pair. But also there's another, symbolic meaning to that, because the desert is a place of death. And so, it's the wilderness. There's, nothing out there. And so you have a lioness raging in the desert, in a place of death, and he has to go and bring her back, being the breath of life. He has to bring her back to, it's not the same as going to the underworld, but there is an element of going from, a place of barrenness back to, not just civilization, but, where you can go and live your life again.
Yeah.
There is a changing of states.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I think it would be appropriate to ask for us to not, help us, find our way through Mercury retrograde, through, chaotic states, back to a place of, centering and, peace, productivity, all good things. So I'm just going to check and see what. Anyone else use Egyptian names so much the autocorrect leaves them alone? You know what? I'm having to teach my new phone to do that, because my last one got to the point where it figured it out. But yeah, it's like you have to teach devices to recognize those names. So yeah. Okay, and Melos is going to offer a prayer for one of my best friend's sister tonight. She apparently had surgery. Something happened to her with her flatlining and having 4 seizures. Oh my goodness. Think she had a reaction to the anesthesia. Not sure if she's okay, but she's in our prayers. Yes.
Yeah, I know what it is to have a reaction to anesthesia. I had one too when I was little.
Yeah, it was to that gas that they used at that point, right?
Yes, but they don't use that gas anymore.
Right, they don't anymore. Yeah.
And they haven't for a long time, but
yeah,
severe hallucination, superhuman strength.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Oh yeah, yes, and yes, when the full moon happens on the 15th, there's going to be a lunar eclipse.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over the moon about that.
Business.
Wait, if that's Khonsu's business, maybe Moon Knight will be apparent.
Oh goodness. But well, you know what? Since we were talking about being in a liminal state and having Shu bring us back, I think. Let's say some prayers for Melos's friend's sister.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of a more liminal place than to be in surgery and to have these things happen. So
you got that right.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and say a few prayers then, or read some writing for deities of the hour. Oh, I'm going to sit down on my beanbag chair because I notice that every time I kneel and then get back up, you're hearing things pop. Okay, and this is from the Litany of Shu. Yeah, it starts in the first person and then it goes on in the third person. I am he who foretells Ra when he ascends from the Alket. I put the fear of him into whomever seeks out his name. I am the one among the Heh gods who hears their words. I dispatch the word of the self-created to the multitudes. I am the one who captains the sunbark and its crew. I am stronger and more raging than all the Enneads. I show splendor in accordance with my nature. I speak, and the Enneads are silent. I am he whose shape was exhaled, whom this august god created, who strews the sky with his beauty, whose name the gods do not know, the one whom the sun folk serve. Shu is the one whom Atum fashioned. His robe is the air of life. A cry for him went forth from the mouth of Atum. The air opened upon his ways. He makes the sky light after darkness. His pleasing color is the breath of Atum. Storm clouds in the sky are his efflux. Hailstorms in dusk are his sweat. The length of the sky is his stride. The width of the earth are his settlements. All living things upon the back of Geb. By Atum's command does Shu govern them. His life is in their nostrils. He guides breath into their throats. And may he bring breath to Melis's friend's sister, and to all of those who are struggling, to all of those who are sick with COVID still, or recently have it.
Yes.
Like your supervisor.
Prayers for my supervisor. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
Mm-hmm. And since we have the full moon coming up, this is a full moon prayer to Djehuty. Hail, Djehuty, true scribe of the Ennead, who reckons the months, the days, the hours, who restores the sound eye to fullness. You return the eye of Ra to her place on the brow of her father, and the Ennead of the gods rejoices. May you continue to look after those who are going through finals, who are in school right now, and to everyone who's studying and trying to better themselves. And to mighty Sekhmet, mistress of the arrows. Hail, Sekhmet, who presides over the land, lady of flourishing, generous one, Sekhmet, who protects the two lands. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the first arrow of famine. And especially with that formula shortage that somebody mentioned. Hail, Sekhmet, O Curl, O hidden lady, Wajit the great. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the second arrow of drought. Especially all of our folks at West. Hail, Sekhmet, who moves in light, who terrifies the gods with her massacre. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the third arrow of war. Especially our friends in Ukraine. Hail, Sekhmet, who guides mankind, lady of the dual shores, mistress of humanity. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the fourth arrow of terror. Hail, Sekhmet, great shining one, foremost in the mansion of flame, who terrorizes the two lands with fear. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the fifth arrow of storms. Especially with hurricane season approaching, may we have a tame one this year. Hail, Sekhmet, who loves Ma'at and hates Zisfet, lady of the people. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the sixth arrow of oppression. Hail, Sekhmet, Uraeus, who opens the acacia, great and sovereign one. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the seventh arrow of disease. And I know we've gotten a few other requests. I know that.
Oh my! I have to move.
What's up?
You have a big box to get in here.
Actually, no, I do not. I have. I went and I refilled it, so it's.
Oh, very well.
And the rest of them are right there.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. We got to reload on fortune cookies. So
thank you, whoever you are, you generous unknown patron.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I know at first you were a little disappointed that we weren't going to make, we're going to do more trivia, but I think that might be something fun to do at another point. Is more fun trivia games.
Okay.
But no, there will be no duel for cookies. Yeah, this time around. But, oh, Kit Fox! Oh, you missed half of the service. Oh. Okay, can I get a prayer for my coven sister that she may continue to have a healthy pregnancy? Been worried about her for a couple of nights now. I don't know if that request was caught or not. Okay, just caught it.
We got it.
Downside one for wearing. Yeah.
Yes. Storage. Yeah, are we still gonna fight over them? Okay, Kid Fox, also can I get a prayer for my family? They've been evacuated in New Mexico because of the giant fire outside Las Vegas, New Mexico. Yeah, okay, Las Vegas, New Mexico. Is that like down south towards Las Cruces, or is that up north, closer to like Farmington or Gallup or where? I know a little bit. I've driven through New Mexico a couple of times, so I'm where in the state is it? North. Okay. Oh, and you know what? What some of y'all, but there what may have happened to a few folks is y'all might have been stuck on a waiting screen. I need to check and see if that other stream that I tried to set up is still like somewhere in the ether, because I was trying to set it up and the chat wasn't doing what I needed it to, and I tried to back out, and then something happened, and it didn't look like it was still on there, but. That might have messed with a few people, and I'm sorry if some folks came in and kind of missed earlier on.
Right, it's all Mercury retrograde's fault. We tried.
Okay. Oh, north of Albuquerque. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Kid Fox says that's what happened to me, and I'm so sorry about that. I thought I had disappeared, and I'm really sorry about that. Mercury retrograde. That's
right. It's all Mercury retrograde. Nothing's been going the way we wanted it to.
Yeah.
We love you guys anyway for sticking in there.
Yeah, and sorry you guys had that happen with the other one. Yeah, and Blue Con's like, he's right. Blame Mercury.
We're more likely to start blaming a red guy with a forked tail.
Okay, and Veronica, coming back to Egyptian paganism after fallow times proves I may find my way. Absolutely.
Welcome home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I have to say, the thing with the wildfires is that's one of the things that's really given me pause when it came to, because at one point I wanted to move out west, and my main concern right now, other than it's so, like in California, it's so expensive to live out there, but everything is drying out because of the mega drought, and I'm concerned for a lot of my friends that are out there.
Yeah.
And actually, one of them wrote up a map of Ventura County, and you have there's Ventura, and then he put like fire, and then did you know there's a lake here?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, it's someplace where they have like honest maps.
Yeah.
So he did an honest map of Ventura County. And like there's another place where it's just like C and D lister Hollywood people live out here, which was really funny considering that he wrote that because his dad was the voice of Cobra Commander, Star Trek. So he knows a thing or two about, people who are like C and D list. Yes. But
or should we say yes?
But so caught my.
Speaking of fire.
Oh well, hey, look, it's just my little grill lighter. But we have prayers. Requests that we ask Sekhmet to bring protection and a cool breath to those people that are trying to escape wildfires. May we have a good monsoon, because I think there's a summer monsoon season that comes up from the Pacific across Baja. The Baja Peninsula, and then into like Arizona and New Mexico. Sometimes they'll get like rainstorms at a certain point in the year, and it's tied to like the cyclone season, if I understand right. And so if that's the case, then may they get a dump of rain this year, because they could use it. And in the meantime, protection and safety for everyone who's in the path of these fires, including, our friends that are evacuating in northern New Mexico. And some Kit Fox, and you were talking about not just that, but also yes, Coven's sister who's having prayers for the formula shortage. Yeah.
Yeah, we had mentioned that earlier.
But also, and it's funny. That's another thing, because we watched Moon Knight, and then I come in here and it's like I hate for that to even like pop into my head when I'm looking like you have Tauret on our altar now, and see I think the reason why you heard Taweret is because and our folks who are from England could probably help, clarify with this, but I noticed that they tend to say all E's as long E's. So Taweret, because it's spelled Taweret. I think because the name means powerful lady. Ta, as a prefix for, a woman, because like the prince who had the pet cat, he was son of Amenhotep the third. Actually, he was Akhenaten's older brother, but he predeceased him. And he had he was serving as high priest in Memphis, I think, or something like that. But anyway, he had a cat that he loved, and her name was Tamu, which means Miss Kitty.
Oh, how cute.
Because Mew is cat.
Yeah.
Ta makes it, she cat, Miss Kitty.
Yeah, Miss Cat.
Yeah, she cat. So, or as, one author put it, you could understand that as being like Miss Kitty, but anyway, so Ta wear it, or I think because of the symbol that is, it's like a waw in Arabic or in Hebrew. I'm thinking it would have been Ta'uret, because that symbol can also, like in Arabic, it can also be an O. So I'm thinking Ta'uret. That's probably how they put it together. And that's why I pronounce it. But that name, I think, messes with a lot of people. I've heard other Egyptian pagans, try to stumble over it, and again, I think the reason why you hear it the way you do on Moon Knight is because you're hearing somebody with a British accent trying to pronounce, an Egyptian name. But you were saying,
they had the same problem with Wep Wet or
yeah.
Wep.
Yeah, Wep Wet. See, all of that's because we, as a standard convention, they'll put E's in place. Like that's how you get Wesser, another tradition who shall not be named pronounces the name of Osiris as Wesser, and I think that's because you're trying to make it a W and then put an E in there instead of treat it like an O sound. Because where else would the Greeks have gotten Osiris?
Yeah.
So,
in all of them, I think it's okay to use the initial vowel that the Greeks started with, because that's very evident. You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're trying to think about, what were they hearing in the first place? But
they could pronounce phlegm. Okay, we get that.
Yeah. But anyway, that being the case, we ask Lady Tauret. That one thing I did think is I thought the way she was portrayed, and like when you first see her, she's like, "Hi." We're like, that's so appropriate. That's actually the most appropriate thing in the whole series. Is I could see her being like that kind of sweet and having a very gentle voice. Yeah.
Whenever we saw that, Janet squealed.
Yes, I bet, because that was, I was like, oh, that's adorable. So yeah. So we ask, dear sweet Lady Tauret, hail, O Tauret, great goddess and great of magic, sweet lady, who watches over women and children. Would you please continue to watch over Kit Fox's coven sister? And may she have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy child. And may all of those who are struggling right now to find ways to feed their children, find the means to keep them healthy and well and fed. So we ask this of you, O Lady Tauret. And, and I was having to explain to Darren, because he was like, well, a lot of women, breastfed for a long time before this. And I said, well, some women, it's hard to do that, and they can actually have problems where either they can't produce milk or can't get it out. That's another thing. So
or their milk is toxic or something.
Yeah. There's various things that can happen to some women, and there are women in my family who had that. They wanted to breastfeed but they couldn't. And so that's why we have. Want to extend our sympathy and our understanding and our prayers for them in that regard.
It sounds very appropriate that you should ask Osset for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's connected to wet nursing.
Mm-hmm. And Hathor as well.
Yeah.
So, and when they ask me, why did they say Khonshu and not Khonsu? That's a good question. I don't know. Let's see. This really...
Yeah, it kind of bothered me at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's one thing I can say I'm really happy about from Moon Knight, is it gives bird victims a chance to be a superhero.
Bird victims? Oh, God. Haha. Yeah.
So the armor was awesome. I don't feel that it was really quite appropriate to her.
Okay, yeah. Well, the superhero outfit was great. It's just it had more of like an ISIS kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, but it was very hot.
Yeah, well, I don't know. A lot of that, I think they're going based on what's going to look cool. Not what's maybe the most accurate, but um, yeah. I'll tell you what, since some folks mentioned this, we'll read something for Osset, and then if we've got some requests for fortunes, we have plenty of cookies.
Limit one.
Well, you know what?
Mm,
The gods decide that.
I know. I'm joking.
Yeah, well, no, because
We've seen them give multiples for people.
Oh, yeah.
We can do one for everyone, and then we can do what happens.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. Real quick, let's say a prayer to Osset. For she is the one who pours out the inundation, which makes all people live and green plants grow, who provides sacred offerings for the gods and voice offerings for the spirits, because she is Lady of Heaven, and her husband is Lord of Djehuty, and her son is Lord of the land. Her husband is the pure water, renewing himself at Biga at his time, and she is the Lady of Heaven, Earth, and Djehuty, having brought them into being through what her heart conceived and her hands created. She is the Ba which is in every city, watching over her son Horus and her brother Osiris. And may she continue to watch over mothers, including, those that are in our little family right now.
Yay,
and
Mom.
yes, and throughout the world, and especially those that, are not sure where their, source of food for their children is going to come from. May they find what they need. Because Isis, too, knew what it was to be living in hiding, living with little means, and having to take care of her son Horus. And there's the story of Isis and the 7 scorpions.
I don't know that story.
That's a cute one. Okay, real quick, just in brief, the story of Isis and the 7 scorpions. Okay, she has to go because she's living in the marshes and hiding, to protect Horus, from his vengeful uncle, and so she has to go to get help for him, and so she has to go into town, and so she kind of throws a shawl over herself to disguise herself, and she has these 7 scorpions that each have names. And they travel with her. She tells all of them, "Don't talk to anybody," when we go into town, which is kind of funny in and of itself. If a scorpion tries to strike up a conversation with you, you're gonna,
Well, yeah, as long as there's not a stinging rebuke involved, I'm okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, so she's going. She's asking for help, and there was a rich woman who was very rude to Isis and turned her away. You can kind of imagine her slamming the door in her face or something. Well, the scorpions took issue with that. So they all got together and talked to themselves.
Scorpion, let's fit into it.
Well, I'm imagining them almost moving like the little Tachikoma from Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
And maybe even talking to each other like that.
Yeah.
Except, really small. Well, they go and they decide to gather up all their venom together, and they go and they sting the rich woman's son.
Ow.
Yeah. And so the rich woman is suddenly having to run out in the street, panicked, somebody help save my son. So kind of a turnabout.
Right.
Well, meanwhile, there was a poor woman who took Isis in, not knowing that, she was a goddess, and was helping her. And then they hear the rich woman, crying for help in the street. And Isis, of course, being a mother and being compassionate, that, pulls on her heartstrings, and she goes to help the rich woman's child. And of course, because, it was her scorpions that stung the kid, she was able to address the poison by the names of the scorpions and command it to leave the child's body. And it's at that point that the rich woman realizes, oh, this wasn't just, some ordinary ragamuffin. This was, a goddess. And so she repents and, and I think she ended up giving from her material wealth, to take care of the peasant woman that had helped Isis. And so, Isis was able to go on her way and get what she needed for Horus. So yeah, that's the story of Isis and the 7 scorpions.
This is where you all clap.
Okay, so Melos needs a divination. Yeah, and more complaints about Moon Knight. Yeah, because the thing with the Khonshu, and I don't really. I think they were thinking they were cute doing that, but I don't know. And somebody was complaining, saying they always make pagan gods all like edgy and morally gray, but Christian figures are seen as pure and good.
Well, of course, man. Because
Yeah.
it's because the Egyptian pagan gods were all wrapped up in themselves.
Yeah.
They want their mummies.
Right. Well, and Serena was like, it was very comforting because the day that Tauret was revealed in the show was the day she gave birth. So,
Well, yay.
Yeah, it's like, regardless of how they're portrayed, the fact that, she showed up on a rather auspicious day was very cool.
That was her gift to you.
Yeah. And, oh, yeah, so I just gave a TED, Ed. He has a TED Talk. So yeah, okay, so so Melos needs one, and oh goodness, okay, okay, Kit Fox and Blue Conlon and Sarkis. Okay, we'll start with Melos. And Imanu, you were saying we need to do one for
we need a community one.
Yes, so we'll start with the community chest, if you will. So.
Well, Megatron's got one of those.
Oh God. Do I have that somewhere?
It's in the living room.
Okay, well, I had one over here. I was going to have to show you. So, this was a meme that I saw somewhere online, and I got to imagine like if you play Monopoly and you've seen the community chest where it says go directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Well, they did the same thing, but they drew up Megatron like from the original movie, and it says proceed on your way to oblivion. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. And if you remember that point in the original movie, it's perfect.
It was hilarious.
Yes. So yeah, Megatron's community chest is yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. Hopefully ours will be a lot better. So my community chest and then Melos asked for one. So. All right. Okay, everyone. Be the labor great or small. Do it well or not at all. So don't be tempted to. Well, if you're tempted, don't give in to the temptation to shortcut or do a half-assed job.
Don't be a slacker.
Well, be the labor great or small. Do it well or not at all. And sometimes it can be small things. You just make sure you close that drawer all the way. So okay. So Melos got to. All right. So Melos, your first one here. Everyone agrees you are the best.
All right, then.
Yeah, there's another aspect to this. Let's see what else we've got going on. And it says, everything you do to make your heart sing.
You must be doing something right.
And you know what? Don't worry about people hearing you sing, I guess. Yes, everyone agrees you're the best. Everything you do to make your heart sing. But you know, sometimes when we get to doubting ourselves, you know, those are great little reminders to get. So, okay. Okay, and see, Black Wolf also needed one. Yeah, I still. Well, I'd have to get with you later about, you know, the number crunching and what I figured out as far as, you know, the pagan pride thing. But that's elsewhere. So Black Wolf and Kit Fox. Tell you what, let's get our canine spirit friends.
Yeah.
So Black Wolf and then Kit Fox.
Thanks for the chat the other day, dude.
Yeah. What the?
You got money.
I need to. I've only had this phone for like about a month. Yeah, and I haven't turned off the sound on all the notifications, so I'm like, what the heck? But anyway, Black Wolf, enjoy life. This is not a dress rehearsal.
Oh, man.
And now, Kit Fox. Kit Fox, efficiency is doing better what is already being done. Efficiency is doing better what is already being done. So it's okay. Don't worry about trying to do something nobody else has done. Just do what's already being done, but do it better. Hopefully that's something you'll be able to plug in somewhere. Let's see. Okay, and now Blue Conlin, Sarcastic, and Serana. By the way, do you think there are any other folks that are still on the other one? That we might need to go and like grab them and yeah.
If somebody could go check and do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But Blue Conlin. Blue Conlin, don't fret. All your friends will be able to zig whenever you zag.
Cool, man.
So don't fret. All your friends will be able to zig whenever you zag. And I get the sense maybe there's some friends that you need to, I hate to use the word reach out to because everybody uses that, but check in with some friends that you might have a resource that you're not taking advantage of in, you know, friends that you know, maybe just waiting for you to ask them, you know, even if it's just to be a friend. But that's the vibe that I got. So oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because Melis was feeling, you know, down in the dumps because of a breakup, and so, you know, the two fortunes that they got, you know, were really positive. That's awesome. Yeah. And okay. Okay. Sarcastic, Serana, and Berdazzle. It's all your fault, Darren. Because I'm going sarcastic, and then the first thing I hear is, no way.
Yes. Please.
But yes, way. Your fortune says, don't be hasty. Prosperity will knock on your door soon.
No way.
Way. Yeah, sarcastic. Don't be hasty. Don't rush this. Whatever it is, just don't rush it. Prosperity will knock on your door soon. So sarcastic, then Sarana. Okay. There we go. Had to get good mixed up in there. Depend on the predictability and steadiness of life to support you. Interesting. Darren, are you getting a particular vibe off of this? No, but this is our new mom, and it's saying depend on the predictability and steadiness of life to support you. Which is for I say new mom as in you've got another one, but yeah.
Well, she's new to this one.
Yeah.
Predictability and steadiness. Okay, this is your second child?
Or no, bless you. I think.
Is this her second child or her first?
Like I think third. Or starts at third or fourth. Fifth.
Okay, fifth. Predictability and steadiness. You've done all this before. You know what you're doing. Don't recreate the wheel. Follow the road. You know what it is. You know.
Depend on the stability, predictability, and steadiness of life to support you.
Right. Don't panic when the child is unique. You know, the child is unique. That's going to happen. That's good. But a child is a child is a child. We all have the same needs, wants, loves, etc. You've done this before. Don't fret.
Okay. Cool. And next is Berdazzle.
Well, this will be sparkly.
Okay. Berdazzle, before you wonder, am I doing things right? Ask, am I doing the right things?
They're telling you that for a reason.
Before you wonder, am I doing things right? Ask, am I doing the right things?
Yes, that's even more important than am I doing things right. Because everybody knows how to probably screw up. But
yeah, I got a feeling that may have something to do with like maybe your metaphysical practice. At least again, that's just the sense that I got. But you know that better than anyone because it's yours. So just if you're wondering, am I screwing something up? Well, first ask, am I doing what I need to be doing? So before you ask, am I doing things right? Ask, am I doing the right things? So next up. Oh, hey Kai, you made it. Yeah, well, I remember you saying you've been working, and so that tired thing. Believe me, we can understand that. And we're glad you were able to tune in. So let's see. Okay. And Brian, Okay. And Kai Sobek. So. And Mary Gross says, "Can I have prayers to help me trust people? I realize that I always assume that everyone wants to hurt me, and I want to not do that."
Wrong prayer.
Hmm.
Prayers for my anxiety to be level.
Yeah.
Trust should never be given. Trust is earned.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a certain amount of skepticism. It keeps you safe. Yeah.
However, if you feel that everyone's out to hurt you, there's an anxiety issue that needs to be addressed. I would ask that prayer be for guidance toward good health.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And Oracle says I may have prayers to keep up my good habits. Sounds silly, but it is a struggle. No, seriously.
No. Good habits are the hardest one to make because nobody advertises, awesome, the awesome food you should eat and stay home and take time to make it.
Yeah. So okay. So Brian and Kai Sobek. Any divinations and some more prayers and especially like dealing with anxiety and stuff like that. Of course, there's that needs a multi-pronged approach. But prayers and things and who would we work with? That's something that I've gotten a few requests on, and something that I think needs to be looked at. Of course, my first thought is to work with Ra, but Ra's my patron, so I think. Your patron deities might be the first, place to look, when you're dealing with that. But we'll work on that. So in the meantime, Brian, you got two. Okay, Brian. First one says, "Do not be afraid to take that big step." Now the second one. Everything is perfect in the universe, even your desire to improve it. Do not be afraid to take that big step. So I think that's a distinct vote of confidence. And now for Kai Sobek. And we mentioned you earlier, and of course, prayers for your aunt and for your grandmother. And here's your fortune. All right, Kai Sobek, do not follow where the path may lead. Go where there is no path and leave a trail.
Yeah.
So in other words, don't do what everybody else is doing. You do your own thing and blaze a trail. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go where there is no path and leave a trail. So, what do we got? Okay. Let's see. Okay, and you've got someone else who was hoping to join Egyptology lessons. Of course, I think his schedule is different, than ours, and he's probably asleep. Well, that I can understand, and we started late tonight anyway. So, giving our regards to Egyptology lessons, and hope they get a chance to tune in later and join us. And they're welcome anytime. Yeah. Yes. And so what Saran is saying about a good therapist helps, speaking from experience. Yes.
Yes, they do. But I want you guys to remember something. The crazy people never go to therapy.
Yeah.
It's the people well enough to know they need it that go.
Okay. And Veronica. So Veronica, and I know you were joining us for the first time. So, here we go. Here's your fortune. All right, you got one similar to Brian here. Everything is perfect in the universe, even your desire to improve it. So, and I know you said you were going through kind of a fallow period for a while, and you've come back. And I think this is their way of saying, whatever you're stressing about, don't worry about it. Everything is perfect in the universe, even your desire to improve it.
I think that's also a welcome home.
Yeah, it is. It's a welcome home, and if if you go and you explore other paths, that's okay, because those are things that will inform you in your journey, wherever you go, including if you come back.
Yes.
The different places I've been, inform my practice as a Kemetic, and that's why I have, a Nietzsche and Gehunzon, behind Ra. So
sometimes we have to follow our pointer stars.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Well, if anyone has any other prayer requests, let me know. And if not, we'll work on wrapping everything up, because it is getting kind of late. But as always, we're grateful for everyone who's able to tune in. And I'll just have to go and check and, see if that other one, if I can zap it. That when the live streams screw up, it's real hard to undo them. But
don't cross the streams.
Yeah, something like that. But let's see. I'm saying how we have a Discord. Yes, thank you, Oracle, for sharing that link. Is for our Discord. Come and join us. And yeah, that's another thing. If you go to school, most universities have a therapist on staff. Now, I will say this: some are better than others, but that's when you go and you try them for a little bit, and if they don't work, you go and
you find another one. Listen, I'm going to say this: most universities have a counseling center, and it's free. Let me also say this: not every counselor is fit for every client.
Yeah.
And
some are better for other things. Because like when I was going back to school, I went and I talked to the counselor, there, and a friend of mine had worked with her dealing with grief, because she had a best friend who died, and the counselor at our university was good dealing with that sort of thing, but she was not so good dealing with the issues that I had. When it seemed to me like she didn't take me at face value when I explained that my parents suck,
Right.
But
and let me just say this: not every counselor is good enough to know I'm not the right counselor for you.
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm. Yeah, now online therapy is kind of a new thing, and Darren's the one who has done research on that. But if any and if anybody has questions for that I might be able to help with, like where do I go, how do I look, stuff like that, I just get a hold of us later, and I can
You can defer to me for general questions.
Right. Yeah. So, but
every state has a licensing board for professional counselors.
mm-hmm.
Look them up, and they will also tell you about any requirements that they have for people providing telehealth.
Oh, okay.
So, every state licensing board for counselors is a good place to start.
Yeah.
The National Board of Certified Counselors is another one.
Okay. I was checking to make sure that I didn't miss anything here. Yeah. And I have to deal with anxiety issues too, so I understand, and it's something. And then there's poor Morgan, who has like destroyed worry beads that I made and strung with for like the third time. Yeah, because to kind of give you a visual. Now these are mine, and these are not worry beads. These there's another story behind those, but I made something similar to these for Morgan because he has a nervous habit. He has to mess with things. And I was tired of him picking up my transformers that are on the coffee table. So I made him, or other things. I think he peeled all of the Mod Podge film off of my little roller because he was just messing with it one time. And so I was like, I need to give this kid something. Yeah. So he won't pick up random things in the living room. So
where he rips his pants off.
Well, anyway, so I made some of these for him, and I had triple strung it just to make sure. Well, he was sitting there worrying them, and broke them. So I restrung them. He broke them again. So I said, all right, I'm going to Guitar Center and getting a length of guitar string and restringing this thing. It worked for, I think, a year.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing we got left after this is carbon fiber and antimonium, and it's not going to be...
No. When he broke that one a month ago or something like that, I was, and the beads spilled everywhere, I was like, I'm not restringing those.
Right.
So, yeah. But that's how his anxiety, I guess, manifests itself in kind of, a baffling way for me. He might be a little embarrassed if he knew I was, telling a tale about him like that. Oh, is my ADHD partner has to do things like that? Yes, and he has ADHD as well. So yeah, that's why he had to do that. If somebody was like, give him a sistrum, I'm like, oh,
no. That'd be like saying, give him a shovel and see how long he digs. No.
I might do that if I have a landscaping project that I could turn him loose.
Sure, I mean, if we can manipulate him to our benefit, why not? But otherwise,
no, because the problem is at this time of year he complained about the back sweat, so that's another story. But anyway,
tell him to count the beads of back sweat going down himself.
That's a long story. But yeah, we're kind of messing with him because he's,
we miss him. He hasn't been here in a month.
No. It hasn't been that long, but he is like. He's not going to be joining us this week either, and I'm kind of pouting. I'm like, hey, we got videos to record, man. Get over here. So I guess
Gundams to build.
Yeah, well, that is my prayers that our henchman comes back over so we can record more fun stuff. Yeah, because I have plans to redo the intro for Consu's Coffee House, which we came up with well before Moon Knight ever got greenlit. So that's our own thing that's on Patreon. But Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Kepri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great in need, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the Earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the Shrine of Shanit in Unu endures. As the name of Osu Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Asat in Necharu endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Djehuty in Kemenu endures. As the name of Ra in the Akhet endures likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Shu, O Djehuty, Sekhmet. May you go forth in peace, O Ra, O Shu, O Djehuty, O Sekhmet. May you go forth in peace, O Yunechiru, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay. The eating ASMR misophonia, and that's the worst thing. It's like what is ASMR?
ASMR is where they do something that is very, very soft and gentle, and it's soothing. It's how like the sound of a ruffling towels together, or any other thing that they come up with.
Okay, so because some autonomous sensory meridian response, a relaxing, often sedative sensation that begins on the scalp and moves down the body, also known as brain massage. So it's listening to sounds people make using. And someone says there's Gundam building is almost like white noise. It helps some people relax. Okay, but then you have other folks that it doesn't help. And so, because somebody was saying they have misophonia.
ASMR, that's something used in therapy. I just have to go look up what it is.
Okay, but other people it rubs the wrong way.
Yeah,
so.
You have to be the right candidate for it.
Yeah, because like if your partner likes it, then and you don't, then yeah, that can be a problem because that's what somebody was mentioning. But anyway, somebody else had said that they were tuning in for the first time. So let me scroll back here because I saw it earlier. Reverend Antoine L. Mason Sr. watching for the first time. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. Thank you so much for hanging in there through our banter. And we're glad to have all of you. Thank you guys also for putting up with the technical difficulties. Yeah, we definitely had a spate of those, but I think it worked out. And next week we will be honoring the Feast of the Beautiful Reunion between Horus and Hathor. And so we've got folks that often have prayers, for because feeling lonely and wanting to find the right person, and we of course ask for them to find happiness in that regard. But we'll definitely be focusing on that next week. But in the meantime, I hope everyone has a good week and stay safe and well. And we're so glad that you're here to join us. And and yeah, if you've been working and tired, that's okay. You can, just let us know ahead of time. If you've got any prayer requests. In the meantime, love you guys.
Right, we love you.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Yes, and there's it's a study group in the Discord tomorrow. Oh, and you know what, guys? If there's anyone who happens to still be on or still have an account on the old Following the Sun forum, I have not been on there in ages, and so I feel kind of bad about that because my concern is that there might be stuff going on there that I'm not seeing. So if anybody's been able to go and check on there, I'm thinking of phasing that out in favor of the Discord, and if we get anything else set up in the future. But if anybody happens to be on that, just peek in there and make sure that there's nothing crazy going on. And in the meantime, we love you guys.